Hey, I'm Coach Stephen Arnold, and in today's lecture, we're going to talk about how we can achieve better health and weight management long term. So I've worked with clients that have achieved over 20 international titles in natural sports and fitness modelling, from Miss Galaxy Australia right through to Miss World Nude. I've worked with all types of clients and we've achieved world-class results from using these fundamentals. So let's get straight into it. So where I always start, and where I think a lot of coaches go wrong, is I start with these foundation pillars, where a lot of coaches will jump straight into training and nutrition without having these good foundation pillars laid down. This sets us up for success. Lay down your foundation pillars, and upon that foundation, you can build a good, what I call, house of health. And without these foundation pillars, all you're going to build is a crappy little tent. So make sure you get these foundation pillars locked down before you look at doing anything else. These foundation pillars are made up of stress, sleep, and digestion. So let's go into those in a bit more detail. Sleep. Yeah, I already sleep 8 hours, I'm all good. Well, sleep quality is completely different to sleep quantity. So lying in bed for 8 hours is all great. And to be honest, not a lot of people in the Western world actually achieve that nowadays. And the amount of sleep that you actually need is different per person. Everybody operates better on a different end of the spectrum. So find out where that is for yourself. Don't try and kid yourself and think that it's 6 hours, because there's no science to support that. Science supports 6 to 8 hours for anybody up to 65. 65 and above, it actually goes a little bit less. They have less requirement for sleep. But somewhere between 6 and 8 is normally the optimal amount. And when we're within those hours, we want to make sure that your sleep quality is as good as it can possibly be. So things like looking at your phone, watching TV, looking out at the daylight, if that's what time you go to bed, these are things that are going to prevent you from getting into good quality sleep. Studies have shown that light exposure on the bottom of somebody's foot actually prevented them getting good sleep quality. So the light, the UV light, makes the body think that it's daylight and we need to wake up. This is an evolutionary response, and it sends cortisol and it sends adrenaline around the body telling it to wake up because there's daylight available. We should be awake, we should be functioning, we should be actioning our daily tasks. Prevents you from getting into the deep quality sleep waves that we want to achieve good sleep quality. So make sure that your bedroom is as quiet and as dark as possible. You want to make your bedroom like a bat cave. No noise, no electrical items, no light exposure at all. It's like a complete cave. Respect your sleep, respect that bedroom. That is where you're going to rest, repair and recover. Put your phone outside, put it on airplane mode, put it on charge somewhere else. Let the alarm go on outside the room. Make sure there's no animals, your partner doesn't snore. All these things are going to contribute towards your sleep quality. Building up to the point where you go to sleep, we want to make sure that we're building up to it, sort of warming up for sleep. Just like you warm up for the gym or you get ready for work, you want to get ready for sleep. So prepare your mind. You want to start winding down. Your body has cortisol and it has adrenaline that pump around during the day, and in the evening we want to reduce that down. We want to promote melatonin and serotonin, and we can do this by doing things like breathing activities. If you just stand there right now and you put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly, this is some deep breathing exercises that are going to help you achieve better sleep quality. So here, and as you breathe in for 4 seconds, you want to make sure that you're breathing into your belly. So straight away, this is going to help you switch from your sympathetic nervous system into your parasympathetic nervous system. So your sympathetic nervous system, you've probably heard of this or referred to this before as your fight or flight mode. And the parasympathetic nervous system, you've probably heard of this being referred to as rest and digest. And it's different chemical pathways that get pumped around the body. So when we want to be alert, when we want to respond, we want to be able to perform, we want to be in our sympathetic nervous system. This is where adrenaline and cortisol get pumped around the body. And when we're in our parasympathetic nervous system, this is where melatonin and serotonin get produced and pumped around the body. So when we're at work, when we're doing our daily tasks, we want to better respond, we want to better move. We get blood pumped to the limbs, pupils dilate, we can think, we can react. but that's not how we get good quality sleep. We can't achieve good sleep waves when we have those chemical pathways getting pumped around. So we want to switch those off, suppress that chemical pathways, and produce and promote parasympathetic nervous system and pathways. And we can do this from some deep breathing activities, switching all your electrical devices off, preparing for sleep. So that's some things that you can do for sleep. Moving on, stress. Whether you think it or not, you are in a state of elevated stress. Every single person in the Western world is in a state of elevated stress. But don't worry, it's just part of life. Human physiology hasn't been able to evolve as fast as society has evolved. So back in the early days when we were first on this planet, we had this stress reflex mechanism built in, designed to keep us alive. Oh shit, I'm about to walk off a cliff. Stop. Don't do that. Oh shit, there's a saber-toothed tiger. Move, run away. Kept us alive. And the human beings that didn't have this stress reflex mechanism didn't survive. They didn't get to reproduce. They died early, they died young. So this is the defense mechanism designed to keep us alive. But now, in modern day society, as society has evolved, we're now activating that reflex mechanism 5, 6, 10 times a minute. Oh shit, I'm stuck at the traffic lights. I'm going to be late for work. My boss is going to be mad. The kids are in the back screaming, doing my head in. I've got to pay that water bill. And my husband's been snoring all night, doing my head in. You've just activated that stress reflex mechanism 10 times in 10 seconds. You are in a state of elevated stress. But that's okay. That's part of life. That's part of being successful. We can't be successful. We can't operate in the Western world unless we embrace it. And being in a state of elevated stress is part of that. We can't avoid it. But what we can do is learn how to manage it better. So stress management is a necessity. It's one of our foundation points that we need to adhere to. We need to learn how to do. We need to respect. So things that we can do to help manage stress. One is the deep breathing activities that we've just previously spoke about with sleep. Also things like getting out in nature, walking around a lake, go to the beach, walk on the beach, yoga, meditation. These are all things that are going to help manage your stress. What I would suggest is on the way home from work is put on your favourite comedy podcast or put on your favourite music. Start unwinding, leaving these stresses behind you. Don't bring them home with you. That's also going to contribute to this last pillar as well. You're going to have better balance in your life if you have less stress. So start winding down, leaving your stresses at home, at work. When you come home, you're a bit more relaxed. Then actively de-stress. Do things that you like. Do things you enjoy. So some people like to do a bit of Lego or colouring in. These are activities that will help us unwind and de-stress. And then before you go to bed, just write down all the things you need to do for the next day in a diary. Get them out of your head, leave your head, and leave them on that piece of paper. That's going to help you de-stress. It's also going to help you sleep as well. So that's stress and that's sleep. The next one is digestion. And I'm coming across more and more people that have digestive issues. The quality of our food isn't what it used to be 100 years ago. We're having to produce it in mass production to feed the amount of people that we have on this planet. Also, our nutritional habits are changing and human physiology isn't designed to absorb the food, the nutrients and the chemicals that are put in these foods. So this is all affecting our overall digestion. The gut microbiome is a very complex and delicate organism. And if we're feeding it with the wrong foods, if we're feeding it with chemically enhanced foods, if we're feeding it with sugars, this is going to throw out, this is going to promote bad bacterial growth within the gut microbiome, leading to gut dysfunctions, bloating and discomfort and digestive issues. You've probably heard of the saying, you are what you eat, but a correct saying would be, you are what you eat and absorb. Because what you eat and what you absorb are two completely different things. Bad digestion means you're going to be not absorbing the nutrients fully that are in the foods that you consume, regardless of what you eat. So what I would suggest to improve your digestion is to get a food diary or a digestive diary. I would do something like this. Monday, meal 1, 5 eggs, a handful of green leaves, a handful of mushrooms, a handful of capsicum. 30 minutes later, no digestive discomfort, no pain, no symptoms. 1 hour after meal 1, no digestion issues, no bloating, no discomfort, all good. Meal 2, 150 grams of chicken breast, 100 grams of white rice, 10 grams of peanut butter. 30 minutes later, bloating and discomfort below my belly button. 1 hour later, diarrhea. Meal 3, blah, 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 and so on. And then at the end of the week, you can look back through your digestive diary, your digestive log, and you can start to pick the patterns. I get digestive issues after meal 2 every day. What am I doing in meal 2? Is it the nutrient source that I'm having? Is it the white rice? Is it the peanut butter? Is it chicken? Or is it after carbohydrates? After I always eat carbohydrates? Or is it after I always eat fats? Just try picking the patterns and identifying what foods work best for you. So we're all different. We all have food sensitivities. We all have things that might not be operating quite optimally. Once you've picked the patterns and you've identified the areas that you need to improve on, or take foods in or take foods out that you can or can't have, that's going to help you start working towards better digestion. It is a very complex subject, and it is something that needs to be considered and looked at. There's things like enzymes, bile, small intestinal microvilli, bacterial infections, parasites. There's a lot going on with digestion, but keeping a diary is going to give you a better indication of what's going on and help you move towards better digestion. Once you have this information, if there's no clear patterns, it might be something that's a bit more severe, and I would recommend getting some specialist attention with that. But if you're not urinating 5 times a day, going to the toilet twice a day, and you have any kind of dysfunction or bloating, that would suggest that there is something that you can improve on. There shouldn't be any sort of signs like that. We should all have good, perfectly functioning digestion. So yeah, just make sure that you're looking after yourself. Try to pick those patterns, take foods out, see how you go, redo it, put them back in, try different things out, see how you go. Okay, moving on. Once we have these foundation pillars laid down, then we're in a position where we can start to lose weight or gain weight or whatever your goal is. This is what I kind of call the first stage. It's kind of like setting yourself up so you're worthy, or you're in a position where you deserve. You can earn the fat loss to come. You can't jump straight into stage 2. You need to get this laid down so that you're in a position where you can then deserve or earn the fat loss. Otherwise, you're just kind of cutting yourself short and making the whole process a whole lot harder. So foundations are laid down. Then we move on to training and nutrition. Now these two are equal. They have equal importance. Without one, we can't really have progress. And if you get them both right, then we're setting ourselves up really well. So let's start with nutrition. And obviously nutrition is very personal. We just mentioned some differences there that can occur. So what I suggest, and this is some good templates or good layout that anybody can follow wherever you are in your journey. So for females, what we suggest is 4 meals a day, spread out fairly evenly, but make it suit your lifestyle. And every meal would consist of a fist-sized serving of protein, a fist-sized serving of carbohydrates, and 1 thumb-sized serving of fats. And for boys, we just double it. 2 palms of protein, 2 fists of carbs, 2 thumbs of fats. Some examples of proteins would be chicken, beef, salmon, white fish, tofu, cottage cheese. Some examples of carbohydrates would be white potato, sweet potato, brown rice, white rice, chickpeas. And some examples of fats would be peanut butter, everybody loves peanut butter, avocado, almonds, macadamia nuts, coconut oil or macadamia oil. These are all examples of different foods. And of course, some proteins are going to have a little bit of carbs and a little bit of fats in them, and some carbs are going to have a bit of fat and protein in them, and some fats are going to have a little bit of carbs and protein in them as well. But don't overstress it. Don't overstress it. Just have protein, carbs, and fats in each meal times 4. If you follow those fundamentals, you're going to do all right. That's going to be enough to get you moving forward. If that seems like too big of a task, too much of a move from where you already are, then just take it a step back. You can just regress that and build up to that. And what you can do is start looking to just include certain things. Instead of taking things out and shifting completely from your current habits, just look to improve something. Just look to add fruit in each day. Look to add vegetables in each day. Start improving, making progress, and then you can move towards that system. You don't need to follow that 4 meal, you just need to make progress. That's all you ever need to do. To get results, you just need to be better than you were last week. If you can be better than you were last week, that's enough to create change. That's enough for improvements. That's enough for progress or physical adaptation to occur. So don't overstress it. This is the biggest problem that I come across in my practice is people get into health and fitness and they think that they have to be perfect. They go from ground zero, burgers, chips, no structure, no meal timing, no cooking, no understanding of nutrition. They upload a meal plan or get given a meal plan and they go, right, Monday morning, I'm gonna be 100% on this. I'm gonna stick to it, all guns are blazing, let's do it. And it's too much of a shift, too much of a change, too much for them to do. They can't stick to it, they can't do it, then they get disheartened, discouraged. Health and fitness just isn't for me. I'm gonna give up. I don't know how these guys do it like that. Well, we weren't born like that. We didn't born eating 100%. We weren't born eating to a meal plan. We progressed up to that. We moved up to that. We went through stages. So if 4 meals a day, fist, palm, thumb is too much, just regress it back and just start making changes. And that might be something simple like, I'm gonna aim to have 1 piece of fruit every day. And then in week 2, I'm gonna aim to eat 1 piece of fruit and 3 serves of veggies per day. And then week 3 might be, I'm gonna have breakfast every day. Just start moving forward. That's all you ever need to do is just make progress. Just be better than you were last week. And if you do things like that, then you're gonna be fine. If you're somebody that enjoys food and you get a lot of enjoyment from food and you love food, then just set yourself, how many meals per week do I need to have enjoyment from? If that's 6, then so be it. And then you can start moving forward from there. You must enjoy the process. You've got to enjoy the plan. And if you can do that, then dieting, training and health and fitness is going to be a whole lot more enjoyable for you and a whole lot more successful as well. Don't torture yourself. Weight management and health weight management should never be a result of suffering and sacrifice. It should be the result of a well-engineered system designed specifically for the individual that the individual can enjoy. The first thing that I do with all my clients is get them to list out their favourite foods and their worst foods. And their meal plan that I will create for them, or the nutritional system that I create for them, will include all of their favourite foods. And that way I know that they're going to enjoy their journey. Now, with nutrition, we could talk forever on this. And there's so much information out there telling you to do this, try this system, try this belief system, try this method, this definitely works. And it's overcomplicated. But this is all you need to know. Calories, these are the most important factor. Total calories. The total calories that you consume over a 24-hour period. That's the most important factor. Next one is macros. How much protein you have, how much carbs you have, and how much fats you have per day. Everything else doesn't really matter. They have a very small significance. Very, very small. Compared to the other 2 factors. The time that you eat your food, intermittent fasting, keto, paleo diet, all of that, they work because they apply attention to these 2 factors. The rest of it doesn't matter. As long as your total calories are less than what you need per day, you're always going to lose weight. And the macro split, as long as you're getting enough protein, carbs and fats, you're always going to look good as well. So you can have a calorie deficit, but if it's all coming from carbs, there's no protein and no fat, you're going to look like shit and feel like shit. So get your calories and macros right. That's all you need to worry about. If you want to go into this much detail, it's like counting calories. I don't really recommend it, but if you're following my fist, palm, thumb rule and it's not working for you, then just do a little calculation and just see where you're at. And the calculation you would do would be body weight in kilos, in kgs, times 33. That gives you your daily calories. And that's in a deficit. So that would be what you would need in total calories to lose weight. And then just use my Fitness Pal, my Calorie King on the internet to just input the food that you're eating and get a rough idea of where your calories are. And that'll be enough to get you where you need to be. And once you start advancing past that, then just look for further information. but don't get carried away with all the minor details like keto, paleo, the time that you eat your meal. Don't worry about can't eat carbs at night, can't eat carbs in the morning. None of that has a significance worth worrying about. Once you're an elite athlete, that's when you want to start worrying slightly about these things here. But for day-to-day athletes, for general people, for general health and weight management, all you need to worry about is total calories, macros, and follow my rule. Just follow my simple fundamentals, and that'll be enough to get you results. All right, training. Let's move on. Don't think that you need to go to the gym to look good and feel good. Some people don't like going to the gym, and that's a-okay. You don't need to do that either. Do something that you enjoy, whether that's riding your bike, playing football, walking with your friend, going for a walk with your mum, riding your bike to your mum's house. Just do something. Start moving. That's going to be enough. That's all you need to start with. And then as you get into the habit, as you get into the routine, then you can progress into the gym if you want. But don't feel like you need to go to the gym. That's going to be enough to start. Just start by exercising. And things that I suggest for people are, if you're an executive, if you're a parent, don't leave it till the end of the day to do your training, because it's going to get missed. You're going to prioritise other things like your family, your kids, cooking, cleaning. It's going to take priority and you're going to miss your training. Do your training first thing in the morning. Pick your gym gear, get it ready, put it beside your bed, and just get up. As soon as that alarm goes, get up and get your training done first thing. That's going to help you out, because you then, it's out of the way, it's done, it's not going to get missed. So you training in the morning, do something that you enjoy, whether that's training weights, whether that's riding a bike, whether that's going to play football, whatever. Do it in the morning, make it enjoyable, and if you're looking for the best possible results, there has to be some air of progression. There has to be a reason for your body to change. If you want to look and feel better, if you want to respond and perform better, there has to be some air of progression. So if I go for a 1 kilometer run on a Monday, and then 3 months later, I'm still doing a 1 kilometer run, my body's going to have adapted. So when I went from 0 to 1 kilometer, my body knows we need to get fitter, because Stephen's going to go for this 1 kilometer run every single day. That's just what he's doing now. So my body will adapt so that it can handle the new stimulus. This new stimulus now, I've adapted to it, and now it doesn't become, it's not hard anymore. So after a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, my body's going to have responded, and it can now deal with this 1 kilometer run. And after that point, there's no need for it to continuously get better. It doesn't need to get continuously fitter, because I'm still only running 1 kilometer. So for the best results, you want to start off 1 kilometer. Week 2, 1.2 kilometers. Week 3, 1.4. And the same in the gym. If I squat 50 kilos in day 1, by the end of the 6 weeks to 8 weeks, I want to make sure that I'm squatting 70. I need to make sure that I'm given my reason to continuously adapt. Without continuous overload, without progressive overload, there is no reason for the body to continuously adapt and change and improve. We need to give the body a reason to change, adapt, and progress. It doesn't want to, it's a hard task. Your body knows where it's safe. It's been there for a while, it's happy there. It knows it can survive there. Why does it want to shift energy, move things around, to get fitter, to grow muscle, to lose fat? It doesn't want to do that. We have to give it a reason to. The body is a really, really lazy survival mechanism, and it will stay exactly where it is unless you do everything right to help it move. It doesn't want to move, it doesn't want to change. It's a lazy survival mechanism. You need to give it a reason to move. It's like if I come and knocked on your door and said, hey Dave, you've got to move down the road. You'd be like, Steve, get out of town. No chance. Why am I doing that? And if I come and knock on your door and went, Dave, there's a tidal wave coming, you need to move down the road, that's a reason for you to move. You'd go, sweet, cheers Steve, I'll pack up and I'm off. It's the same with your body. Give it a reason to change. Without a reason, without stimulus, there can be no physical adaptation. So just move. And if you're not moving, if you're not doing anything, get out in the open, get out in the fresh air. It's going to make you feel a million times better. Now this one, top of the pyramid, balance. This is massive to me. I've been really bad in the past for getting pulled out of balance, and it's cost me a lot of pain in my life. So this is something that I preach a lot, and I'm massive on with all my clients. It's okay to make these shifts. It's okay to train. It's okay to eat better, but you need to have balance. You need to make sure that you have life balance, and you can be 100% to your nutrition plan and 100% to your training. Very admirable. live like an athlete and get slightly better results than somebody that's only being 80% compliant, someone that's enjoying 6 meals per day. You can do that, and it's all great. But at the end of the year, at the end of the 5-year period, if you haven't created balance, you're going to be in a very sad and unhappy place. So things that I can give to you that will make your life better. Number one, most important thing. I'm going to write this out, see if you can guess it as I'm writing it. Date night. Make sure you're booking a date night in every week. And if you can, book in 2 date nights and just prioritise those. Don't let anything get in the way of those. If you start missing date night, you start missing time with your partner because you want to go to the gym, you want to sleep more, you want to stress less, you want to have better digestion, you want to go to the gym, it's going to impact on your overall balance and your overall happiness. So date night is the first point that I could give you. Secondly, make it that you still can enjoy the process as well. It's all very admirable being 100% to your new diet plan, the palm, fist, thumb rule, but you need to make sure that you're still involving your friends and still being social. Being 100% will get you slightly better results over the 12-month period, but if you're putting yourself out of balance and you're losing friendships and it's making you unhappy, then it's not worth it. You're always better off being 80% or 90% compliant and having better balance in your life. That's going to help you. That's going to help you enjoy the process and stick to it. People that try to be 100% will only do that for a short period, and then they kind of go, 500 grams, all that I missed out on, never worth it, and they go back and they give up. It's not worth it. But if you can go, I lost 300 grams and actually I can see myself living like that for the rest of my life. That last 3-month period was actually really good. I actually enjoyed it. I was still going out with my friends. I only made a few little changes. That's balance, and that's how you achieve better health and weight management long term. So make sure that you're creating balance in your life. Have conversations with your friends and your family. Tell them what you're doing and why you're doing it, why that's important to you, and how they impact that. That's going to help you control your environment, have better balance, and ultimately have better success long term. So there's a few things there to think about. We've got some good nutritional fundamentals to stick to, some good training fundamentals to stick to, some good life balance, and most important, we're going to start with these 3 foundation pillars that are going to hold all of that up together: stress, sleep, and digestion. And I can promise you guys, I've been doing this for 10 years more. Every single part of this foundation builds upon each other, and they all contribute towards each other. As soon as you start slacking off in one of these areas, it has a massive knock-on effect, and you can very, very easily get pulled out of balance, which affects sleep, stress, digestion, training, nutrition, and it can all crumble down. And it's important that we do stay focused and keep moving forward. And sometimes in your life, you're going to go through periods where you can be a little bit better, and periods in your life where you need to just back it off a little bit. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to let your foot off, as long as you don't remove it completely, because that's when it all falls down. Look at your life and go, okay, for the next month, I'm going to be really under pressure at work. I need to take my foot off the throttle a little bit. I'm only going to go to the gym 3 times instead of 4. But I'm going to make sure I still get time with my family, and I'm booking that date night. And then you might get to the end of the month and go, for the next month ahead, I can turn it up. I've got a bit more time available. I'm going to go to the gym 5 times, and I'm going to turn it up a little bit for the next month. That's how we create balance, and that's how we can do this long term, and how we can achieve good health and weight management long term. And that is always the goal. It's a marathon, not a race. Enjoy the process and design a system that suits you. Don't pick a system off the internet and try to fit into that system, because that will never work for you. It might work for somebody, but it's not going to work for you. You are different. Every single person on this planet is 99% the same, but it's understanding that 1% that is the key to long-term health and weight management. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video, this lecture, and I wish you all the best. So stay safe, and I'll catch you all very, very soon.